Let's start with asterisk, which will select everything. Now everything is italic. Ooh. Now how about selecting all the divs and giving them a border? We can do it using the element selector. Just the name of the tag and then your style. Remember, this will give style to all the divs. Well, let's give this last div background color a blue. For that, let's give it a class first, okay? And now using class selector, using dot, then class name. I also want this first div to have the same style, so I will just give it the class name as well, same class name. I can also use ID selector. Let's give this second div the ID, hashtag ID, to select that in the CSS. Now class selector and ID selector might look similar, but the problem is you can only have one ID for one tag in HTML. It's not like it won't render here, but this is a wrong practice. This is an abomination. So ID selection is generally avoided in CSS. Then there's attribute selector. Like these things, classes, styles, ID, href, src, etc. They are called attributes of the HTML tag. You can make up one of your own. Let's say flower, and let's give rows as a value, and now I can select this attribute value in the CSS like this and give it a background color. This is flexible, like let me give the same attribute to this another div, a different flower value. And if in CSS I select just the attribute like this without specifying any value, then I can give style to all the tags that have this attribute. Value doesn't matter here. Or I can change the selector so that value is taken and give different styles like this. This attribute selecting is often used in dark mode toggling. You know, the body has this mode attribute and its value changes from light to dark, dark to light if the user presses the theme button, and then the CSS is applied accordingly. And these are the selectors. Now comes combinators. How do you combine different things? Okay, I have inserted one article tag and p tag inside the first div, and there is also a p tag inside the article tag. I want to make this p tag bold using a combinator. I would use for this descended combinator first. No need to remember the name. Div space p, then styling. It worked. But why is this another p tag also styled? I didn't want that. It's because when you use descended combinator, it will match all the p tags inside the div tag, no matter how nested it is. To just target this p tag, which is the child of this div, you use child combinator, anchor bracket, like the arrow coming from div to p tag. Okay, now is the turn of next sibling combinator. How do we use that? First, let's use this another HTML. Now here, I'm going to write p plus span and then curly brackets. So what this does is it will give this style to span tag that comes immediately after p tag. They also need to have the same parent for it to work. Now there are three such pairs, and in the second pair, if I give, let's say, anchor tag here in between them, then this span tag does not come immediately after the p tag, so its style is removed. Also, I can make a div and move this span tag inside this div, and the style is removed now because this span and p do not have the same parent anymore. They are not siblings anymore. Now another similar combinator is the subsequent sibling combinator. It uses tilde instead of plus, and it won't care about tags in between. If the span comes after p, then it works, no matter how far down the line it is, no matter how many in between other tags. But this still requires them to have the same parent. They need to be sibling. This is why this span inside the div isn't stylized, even now. I know it feels like you won't ever use them, and you probably won't. Here's the easy one, comma separator. It's simple, gives the style to things separated by comma. You can separate element name this way, class name, even use combinators like this, ID selector. It will give all of this the style. Simple, no hassle. Here's another you will never use, namespace separator. Now I won't talk about it here because honestly, I don't understand it too, and don't even bother to. Life is too short to learn about CSS combinators you will never use. Anyway, thanks for watching. Comment down your favorite CSS selector and please subscribe for more.